Listen, formula is a job in and of itself. Feeding the baby is a whole 24-hour job. You don't realize how uncoordinated you are until you got to put a little cup inside of the little baby bottle with the baby food and it's spilling all over the place. Like, how hard can this possibly be? And we are recording once again. Good afternoon, Ken. It's no longer morning. How are you?
Wow, it is afternoon. Good afternoon, Fenton. I'm slightly tired today. Not so bad. I'll let the audience know what's going on finally. So we have our new baby boy has joined us. He's now 10 days old.
I had to look for the button. Congrats.
Thank you. After a couple, he's our rainbow baby. If people don't know what that is, you can look it up. But rainbow baby is a baby that comes into your world finally after having a loss or a miscarriage. So we had a couple of them. Not to make it a sad note. It's not a sad moment. No. So after you've lost a 1, 2, 3, whatever amount of babies you've lost, that's not funny.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's called a rainbow baby.
That's beautiful.
So yeah, he's made it into our life. He was born last Monday, and we're not getting a lot of sleep, but it's a lot of fun.
It's that new baby life.
Yeah, he's a very happy baby. He just wants to be fed and burped. Other than that, he's smiling and looking around the room.
Praise God. It's an awesome thing. I, of course, thankfully have known already. So I feel very honored.
Fenton was one of the few people actually that knew. We actually kept this pretty quiet, only because we lost 2 in the past, and it's just hard to. You don't want to hold on too tight because you don't know if it's gonna slip. But yes, sorry to cut you off.
Nah, I get it, and I don't know what we're talking about today, but for anybody who's ever been in that situation, it can be very difficult to be excited, the second, third, fourth time around after losing one or more. And, we've experienced that. So I definitely empathize. And also at the same time, with my little miracle baby sitting behind me, she's homesick today from school, knowing how amazing it is when they do arrive, and what a blessing they are and a miracle they are. There's so much joy that comes with it, like a rainbow after the storm. So I never heard that before, but now I understand why they call them that, and that's beautiful.
Yeah. Sorry to cut off your introduction. Go ahead, sir.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Products of Circumstance, the podcast with Ken Skeen and myself, Fenton Joseph. We discuss mental health and mindset matters through the lens of Black men who happen to be dads, and also married to 2 beautiful Black women. I just want to make sure that comes out right. It's not like Ken is married to 2 Black women. Right. That's not what's happening here.
Thank you for clearing that up.
We are married to 1 beautiful Black woman of our own. Yes. Okay. We cover topics like family and relationship trauma, relationships with money, self-worth, positive thinking, gratefulness, and so much more. The show is unscripted, it's unfiltered, and mostly unedited. There goes my miracle baby right there. We choose our topics randomly, and Ken is going to let us know what we're going to talk about today. But first, y'all, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, share.
It's over there.
Yeah, share it with somebody, who's going through, somebody that is on their own personal development journey. People are in different stages. Some people are just starting out and just waking up to this idea that there's information out there that can help them on their development journey to become a better version of themselves. And then some people are much further along, but wherever they are, please share this with somebody that you know, and we appreciate you. All right, my brother, what are we going to talk about today?
The topic of the day, I have to speak with my wife upstairs for a little bit, is going to be talking about postpartum. And I don't technically mean postpartum depression, which we can, dip into a little bit, but postpartum just itself, the help that the significant other spouse may do to relieve some of the stresses that the mother or father is now taking on with the new baby in the home.
Okay.
So, for instance, I'm helping more with, let's say, she hates when I clean the bathrooms because I don't do it the way she wants me to. It's the way she. So, but now today I took it upon myself because I heard her make a comment yesterday. Like, wow, the bathrooms look so dirty. Listen, she's breastfeeding right now. That's what we did with our children. So they're not filling up as quick when you give them Similac. It's
Right.
every 2 hours. This baby's up, wants to feed.
Yeah.
So she has no sleep right now. I took it upon myself, started cleaning the bathrooms, the kitchen, did the laundry for the 7-year-old, folded all of his clothes. I do the dishes on a daily anyway and take out the garbages out the rooms just to make sure everything's nice and clean that way. But she really, really just truly takes it upon herself to make sure the house is clean,
Right.
including the laundry. She really does it all. And her thing is, well, babe, you leave the house. I work late hours. I'm in sales. We have the side company as well where we do our wood furniture, the custom wood furniture. And she's like, you really work a lot. You shouldn't have to come home and have to do anything. Well, I'm not raised that way.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? I was raised, you clean your own thing, you do your own laundry, you wash your own dishes. I know how to use a vacuum, a mop. I can do my own, I can do it.
Absolutely.
She chooses for me not to do it, but then I'll help out without her knowing sometimes. And get it done.
Vacuuming at 2 a.m. quietly.
Not vacuuming, yeah.
Not waking up anyone.
But, cleaning counters, things like that. I want to help out. We have 3 kids. Well, we have 4 kids now. We have 4 with a puppy. Well, he's 3 years old, but he thinks he's a puppy.
Yeah.
So now we have 4, and 3 of those are boys. So as soon as the baby gets older, he'll be, in those bathrooms wailing it around. And his pee, pees builds up. I'm not trying to be nasty here. If you ever clean the bathroom, you know exactly what I'm
People got boys. If you got kids, you got boys. You know what time it is.
You know the deal, man. You got to put a little target in the toilet so they know where to aim at. Actually, one of my buddies, I was at his house playing poker, and I'm assuming his wife put a little target in the toilet. It was pretty cool. I'm like, wow, we should do this at home. But yeah, it was
a little fun when you go in there,
But yeah, man. So, and then we were talking just now, and she's like, "Oh, it's postpartum. After the baby, things that the significant other, spouse, whatever it may be, helps out around the house so that she can just tend to the baby."
Right.
When it comes to breastfeeding, changing, getting her sleep, and you think I look tired? She is tired. With a smile on her face, though, but tired.
Right. Yo,
So, all right. So look, for me, it's I go to work and come home and try to help out as much as I can. I'm not the person that puts his feet up and put the game on. I don't even watch sports, let alone do I watch a lot of TV in the first place.
Right.
But for you, let's say, like you're one of my close friends that is a stay-at-home dad. Like you work from home, so you've been raising your daughter more hands-on than usually what fathers do. So from your standpoint, is there a difference or?
Yeah, no, it's all right. So when my wife, after we had the baby, she was home for, I think, like 3 months. I want to say 3 months. And during that time, listen, this is the show, we're black men, right? We talk about stuff through the lens of men. So I'm going to just speak as a man. If you're a man and your wife, your lady has a baby, that window, okay, to do every and anything that you can for her, that it's a short window, but everything that happens within that short window is going to inform the rest of your life. It's she will never forget the way that you treated her when she was laid up after having your baby. All right. So let it suffice to say, armed with this wisdom, I made sure that I did any and everything that I could to make sure that she was comfortable and didn't have to think about things, worry about things. Now, I am somebody who was raised to keep a household. doesn't wash my clothes for the most part. I mean, she will do laundry, but I actually prefer to wash my own clothes because I grew up doing my own laundry. I grew up cleaning the kitchen, thaw out the fridge and the freezer in the fridge and clean everything out. You vacuuming, dusting, bathrooms, like we do it all. And that's just the way that we were raised. I'm one of 4 boys initially. And my dad, we were doing everything when we were kids. And my mom's too. I'm not gonna act like my mom didn't, teach us anything, but I came into this relationship completely independent. Like, you don't need to do anything for me. And I also, I guess kind of like your wife, I like things done a certain way. I want the dishes done a certain way. I want the bathroom cleaned a certain way. So I'd rather do it myself. It's like, don't even bother doing it. I'll just do it myself. All of that to say, I think it was very easy for me to just stay in that same mode. It wasn't like I had been neglecting the household previously as a man. And then when my wife is, down, I got to pick it up and it's this big burden for me. Like, I was already doing it anyway. I do most of the cooking, like the cleaning, like it just is what it is. So that's not everybody though. So to your question, I'm telling you, men, don't do it to yourselves. Don't think you're going to sit there and be lazy and she's going to get up and do everything even after the breastfeeding or, listen, formula is a job in and of itself. Feeding the baby is a whole 24-hour job. You don't realize how uncoordinated you are until you got to put a little cup inside of the little baby bottle with the baby food and it's spilling all over the place. Like, how hard can this possibly be? Temperature, making sure that it's going to burn your baby's esophagus. Send the kid to the hospital. Like, that stuff is hard. Keeping track of the timing. You have the diapers, making sure that they're bathed, just keeping an eye on them. And when they start crawling and they're moving about, there's so much that's involved with raising a kid. You just have to be mindful of how much energy it takes. Like you said, you see your wife has this, do everything. She has a smile on her face. It's like, but it'd be like the type of smile that like a boxer has after like a fight.
Yes.
Like, they just got whooped, worn out, and they're like, I won. It's like,
I think she's smiling for me in the sense of like, I'm good.
And they still thinking to themselves, they still also need to look good for you.
Yeah,
on top of all that.
Yeah, she was apologizing to me the other day. Probably yesterday, 2 days ago. Like, oh, babe, I'm gonna lose a pregnancy weight, and I'm like, what? I'm like, stop. I'm like, please stop it. Stop your nonsense. I'm like, you need to worry about this child right now. That's it. I'm like, I got this. I'm home. I got everything else. All you need to worry about is him. I actually did change his first diaper in the hospital.
Nice.
Everything's a little different with hospitals now. I remember with our first one, she'll be 15 and she'll be 15 in less than a week.
Amazing.
Our oldest, that's our only girl. And I remember when we had her, it was like 4 days in the hospital, bro. We had him on Monday at, right before 5:00 a.m. We were home. They released us Tuesday around 6 p.m. We were out. They're like, oh, your baby's healthy. You're healthy. Bye, Felicia. Yo, hospitals have changed, man. They want you out of there. Or it's insurance companies.
Churn and burn.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but you know what, though? All everything aside, we were happy. Like, you know what? Bye. We're out.
Right.
Thank you. We're going home.
You don't want to stay in the hospital any longer than you have to. And, that's the thing also is like being in the hospital after having the baby, like it's not comfortable. It's not fun. We had to stay a couple days after we had our daughter and, just make sure everybody's okay. You don't get good sleep in hospitals. The food isn't good. They're coming in there to poke and prod you and, there's no comfortable place to sleep. Like hospital sleep is not good sleep. So again, when you're at home, you want at home to be as comfortable as possible. So as a man, you want to make sure that like that's her sanctuary. You know what I'm saying? Like that's her place of peace. It's a horrible time to get into arguments. Hold it. Just hold that thought for like 6 months. Just Write it down on a piece of paper. It's a great time for men to get into journaling. Right?
Oh, wow.
Start writing your innermost thoughts down and hold that stuff till later. Very bad time to be in a contentious relationship with the mother of a newborn baby. Making sure that, you're really overdoing it. It's kind of like, how they say when you're on camera, your motions aren't as exaggerated as they are in real life. You really have to move. I was in a music video once and I was playing the drums. And I'll never forget, they're like, Fenton, we really need you to, get in there, look like you're playing. And I'm like, I am. What are you talking about? And I saw the playback and they're like, it looks like you're barely moving.
Oh, wow.
And I said, wow, the camera really slows things down, right? So you got to over exaggerate. Postpartum is a really good time to over exaggerate everything. Overdo it. Have way more grace than you used to having, way more patience, be way more considerate, do the bed and breakfast, massage the feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, do all of that stuff that seems like it might be like out of like a corny Lifetime movie or something. Do it because it matters. And again, that window is really, really short and you're better because of it.
Yeah.
I think
I agree.
I'll say this last thing. I think, for me, it's like it teaches you how to serve. And your relationship really should be about serving one another. So it shows you all the ways is like when one person in a relationship, this happens to be a situation about pregnancy or postpartum, but when one person in a relationship cannot do and the other one has to step up and step in and stand in the gap, right? Fill that void. I think it really teaches you how much you're not doing. It shines a light, you know what I'm saying, on that gap. And you're like, wow, like there's so much more that I could be doing. And then the question for you, maybe collectively, is how much more are you going to take on that you could be consistent with once they do come back from that situation and are able to do for themselves? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just something that I think, again, when you get into the habit of overdoing it and just being on overdrive, it makes the relationship better because it's like, wow, you're considering so many different things, that you weren't considering before, and that becomes a new norm, and it could be beautiful. At least that's been my experience.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Again, I'm not. It's tough because I'm not the lazy husband. Like you said, so it was, with my parents, my dad's remarried, but it was me and my brother. And I know how to cook. My wife can actually tell you right now, I'm the better cook. I know how to clean my own house. I know how to do my own laundry, even though she likes to do it. And she does fold my boxers and my socks. And I have like a sock in a boxer drawer now. I've never had that before I got married, which is pretty cool. I maintain them, but she does these things out of love and it's what she knows how to do, but I can do it myself. I don't need anyone in my life taking care of me. I know how to clean my own kitchen, clean my own bathroom, the whole nine. So stepping up, like you said before, it's not even oh, wow, how do you do this? Let me YouTube how to clean a toilet, which I'm sure many people have done.
Yeah.
No, I know what solutions to look for. Aside from that, I'm not going to get into cleaning the toilet right now. But stepping up to the plate and really just helping out and taking the burden and the stress off of her back of, wow, that has to get done too. Wow, still didn't get the chance to do that. No, don't worry about it. Get your sleep in. Oh, you only got an hour and a half last night? Because I heard you up all day? When he starts crying, I wake up also. But she's, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. You have to wake up. Go back to sleep. But I'm still going to stay up a little bit. I'm not going into REM.
Right. You up. It's like, yes, she's doing the feeding, especially if she's breastfeeding. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you can at least be there, Yeah. Now, my wife will tell you that I slept a lot during that time. I don't remember it that way. I remember being up. Maybe it's like if I didn't physically get up out of the bed, to like check on, our daughter or something, which I did. I did a lot, actually. It's just, we just have two different recollections of what happened. But things like that, getting out of the bed to change a diaper, that's a huge one. Nobody wants to get their sleep broken. And we understand that, if you also have to get up and go to work in the morning or whatever, it's like you want to just stay asleep. I said, but honestly, it takes a lot more out of the mother, I think, physically, to get up and then try to go back to sleep, especially if she's breastfeeding, than it does for the man to just get up, change a diaper, and then go back to bed. Like, you're going to go back to sleep, dog. Like,
you have a sleep anyway.
It's temporary. Now's the time. That window is very short to step up and be the best partner that you can be. And you really just got to do it's sacrifice.
That's what it is. It's sacrifice. And I mean, for the greater good of your family.
And it's not sacrifice if you have it to give. You're going to lose something. You're going to lose sleep. You're going to lose energy. You're going to lose peace. Like, it's not a sacrifice if you got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody asks you for some money, to borrow some money. And it's like, if you have it, it's not a sacrifice. It's like, oh yeah, sure, I got an extra $100. Here you go. No problem. But what about when it's a problem? Yo, what? Honestly, I don't really have that $100 to give to you. I got this bill coming up, whatever, but I'm going to give it to you anyway, right? I'm going to give you in your time of need, even though I'm in need also. That's a sacrifice. And that's honestly, I think, something that, postpartum really kind of reveals and highlights in relationships is people's willingness to make sacrifices, especially on the men's part, speaking as men. I do think that for you and I, just because of the type of people we are and the way that we were raised, it's probably a little bit easier for us. We are definitely the type of people who, like, like, give people the shirt off of our backs. Like, I know that's how you are. That's how I am. Because I always have a shirt on underneath. Because I get cold. That's why I'm always wearing a hoodie. All right. Let's switch gears for a second. Postpartum, they just had the baby. There's a lot of weight on that body. And, I think some men get confused that, like, a woman's going to look the same the way that she did when you met her, after having kids. And then they're surprised when they look different. I'm like, first of all, does your mother look the same way she did when she was 25? Like, do you know anything about the human body and anatomy? Like, did you fail that class? Like, women are going to look different. And you have to give that grace. I'm going to say two things, and then I'm going to let you take it. One, there has to be that grace. Not every woman is a gym rat. All right. Not every woman is going to have kids, get big, and then be in the gym, work it all off. Some women don't exercise like that. They have no interest in going to the gym. Some women aren't into eating healthy or whatever. They eat what they want to eat. They don't go to the gym, and whatever weight they put on, when they have the baby, it stays on, and that's just your life. What are you going to do? Are you okay with that? And, like, for me, I have no problem saying this because my wife knows this, because I've said this to her before. My wife was thin when I met her. And I said to myself, Ken,
you about to get in trouble right now?
No, not at all. She knows. This is how I feel. I said, even if she puts on, when she puts on weight, having a baby, she's still going to be slim, even after the fact. And I know if she puts on weight, I'm going to be completely okay with that. That's what I thought when I looked at my wife and I said, you know what? I don't care how thick she gets. Like, I'm straight. I'll be completely fine with that. And it may sound shallow, but it's actually deep because
go on.
Go ahead. I'm going to keep going. This goes into, I know we're talking about postpartum and I'm making a long stretch here, but stay with me. People don't take the time, I think, to really consider, like, their level of attractiveness to their spouse. Familiarity is one of the greatest factors when it comes to attractiveness. We get attracted to people because we're familiar with them. We're around them all the time. That's why you have these workplace romances and stuff like that goes off the rails, because you're around somebody, you spend time with them, you get to know them. And the reality is they could not be as attractive as your spouse at home, but you're around them all the time. And that creates opportunities for intimacy, emotional intimacy. And that a lot of times is what gets people in trouble. But on a positive note, you know, finding those things about the person that you're attracted to beyond what's skin deep, that a lot of times, like, think about it. If it's powerful enough for somebody who isn't as attracted, you're not as attracted to them physically as you are to your spouse, but you would cheat on your spouse with that person because of the emotional intimacy that you have. And you know that a woman is going to put on weight and may not snap back into, you know what I'm saying, like her pre-baby body. Wouldn't it make sense to nurture a relationship with somebody that you have such emotional intimacy with that you would be able to withstand the inevitable degradation of physical attractiveness?
Yes.
That is an area that we should be pouring into. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop looking at your spouse and just being like, oh, like she's beautiful now. I hope that you find her to be as attractive on the inside as you do on the outside, because the physical is going to change. And when it does, you need to be prepared for that. And if you're not, you're going to run into problems. And the craziest thing to me is men who are like, oh, like, well, I'm just not as attracted to her, but you have like 5 kids.
And you've gained about 50 pounds.
Yeah, don't even get into the hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't in the gym either. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you expecting her to look like a you know, a model in a magazine
with the donut powder on your hoodie.
Come on, bro. My point is, you know, I think it's very important to manage expectations and to, you know, to think about these things before getting seriously involved with somebody, and obviously, of course, before getting married. You know, but leave that space, man, because women are going to be thinking about that stuff all the time, even as they're. I can tell you, even after going into the delivery room to have the baby, I don't know for a fact because I didn't ask her, but I bet if I asked my wife, like, she was probably thinking about how she looks.
Oh, please, my wife was.
Right?
I mean, we were about to literally, so we went in and we went from the room to the delivery room. Mm-hmm. We were probably in there for, I don't know, maybe like 3 hours before she started pushing. And she's asking me, babe, I don't know if I shaved my leg. When is the last time I shaved my legs? When is it? I'm like, stop it. I'm like, we have other things to worry about right now. Nah, she did an awesome job, though. I was a coach for all 4 of my kids. So she did an awesome job. Cut all 4 cords.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I've cut every one of their cords.
That's amazing. I didn't cut the cord. I did get to hold her first, which was amazing. But I didn't cut the cord. But yeah, you're like sitting there about to give birth to a human being, thinking about whether or not you shaved your legs. It's like, you know, men aren't thinking about these things. So you have to be considerate of that as well and make as much space as possible. And I'm being like super blunt, you know, because I don't want people to get it twisted. Like, you know, as a man, you know, while she's pregnant, you're thinking about sex. After the baby comes home, it's like, all right, how soon before we can have sex? And, you know, you have to consider 6
weeks.
It's case by case.
6 weeks. 6 weeks.
You have to consider that, you know what I'm saying? Like, the urges that you have as a man, they're still there. And, you know, you want to make sure that they're all that energy is directed at her. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to start looking at somebody else and be like, oh, my wife don't look good, so, you know, I'm gonna look over here. It's like, nah, man, like, is this your forever person or is this not your forever person? You know? Anyway, all that to say, I'm
lucky because my wife's hot, so.
Yo, we've got some baddies.
I got a Nubian.
Come on, man. I listen, my wife is, I'm so attracted to my wife physically. I'm attracted to my wife mentally, spiritually. Like, I like the person who she is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can love somebody but not like them. Right?
Facts. I
like her. I'm in love with her and I'm in like with her. And we work really hard on staying in like with one another. Because
it is. You do have to work. You have to work at it. It's you're living with hopefully it's your best friend. You're living with one of your best friends and you have to work on your relationship because you will change as you grow. But you want to grow together. It's real. It sounds corny. Sounds like it. Sounds real corny, but it's real. It's real. If you're not working on it.
How many divorced people who was like, oh yeah, I still love them.
A lot.
I love them. No, I'll always love them. Yeah, but you don't like them. Oh. You can't stand their guts, but you love them. What good is love if you can't stand being around the person? Think about your siblings. Think about people that you like that are close to you. You know what I'm saying, close to your heart. It's like, oh, I got so much love for you. I don't like you.
I can think of a few people.
And me too. and I think postpartum, that's again that window, that small window. A lot of powerful things are happening in that small window. I think that's a time where you can be you can love somebody, but you can fall out of like with them.
It's funny. My wife told me because she was reading something about love language, and she's like, "Baby, your love language is service." I'm like, "Huh?" She's like, "Yeah, when you love someone, you don't mind serving them." Like she's like, when it comes to you giving emotional feedback or doing a chore or like running out to get ice cream, something like. She's like, when you love someone, you're a servicer. I'm a servicer. We can make it up words. Nice. I'm tired. A server. I thought that was pretty cool. I looked into it a little bit, but no, you're right, Fenton. You can love someone but not like them, and there is a small window where you can show like who you really are to that person, what you really mean to them. And I know she sees it. I don't need to. Oh, I hope she understands. No, I know my wife. She definitely sees what I'm doing for us, not for her, for us. So I'm making sure she can get her rest, and that baby has all her attention.
That's beautiful, man.
It's fun. It's fun. But yes, folks, I know we just went through this episode. That's why I've been tired the past couple of episodes, and I look a little more squinty-eyed than regular. But you got to come every week and do this. Yeah, stay consistent.
That's right. That's right. Now you show up every week, and it's a beautiful thing to see the commitment, and I appreciate it because you certainly have a very, very good reason to blow this whole thing off, but you don't. And similarly, like I was up 2 nights ago or the other night doing laundry. I had to get some laundry done. There was something with the laundry. We live in an apartment building. There was something with the laundry machine. Whatever. It's like, all right, I got to get the laundry done tonight because they're gonna be out of commission the next day, and just up to like 5 a.m, doing laundry, and then had to get up, take my family where they had to go, work and school and everything. And let it suffice to say that I'm beat. I'm really, really tired. And the little one's homesick. That's why you're hearing all this noise in the background. And you know what? That's the sacrifice. I don't have the energy. God gives me the strength, and we just keep pushing through. And that's the same mentality that you should have postpartum. Is it's going to take a lot, but just keep pushing. Because just the same way this little window with this little one here that I got, she's not going to be young forever, but she's going to remember all the times that I pushed through and showed up for her when she wanted to take a walk, go to the park, do the science experiment, do this, do that. She's going to remember that little window. And I could come up with a million reasons not to do it, but I wouldn't be making the sacrifice. And that's what it's about.
I like how you wrap that up.
Yeah, because it's so loud in the background. It's great. I hope the gate in Logic catches all this noise and suppresses it. But we'll see what happens.
Well, that's all, folks.
Yes, sir. Go tend to your beautiful family. And
thank you.
We will talk soon.
Oh yes. How do you wrap this up? Please share, like, follow, subscribe.
You always have to remind me to wrap it up. Yes, hit the notification bell, y'all. And please share with somebody who's on their journey. Maybe somebody that that just had a kid. A brother or a sister. Like I said, we talk through the lens of Black men. But if you know somebody who just had a kid and they need to hear a little bit about our experience, please share this with them. All right. Have a great week, y'all. See you next time.
Deuces.